Hello Taurus, Jessica here with Cardinal Signs. I hope that you're doing well. So for this reading, we're going to take a look at the first 2 weeks of October. We're going to start off by doing a general forecast, and then we'll take a look into the crystal for additional messages. We'll conclude the reading by taking a look at love and romance for yourself and your partner or potential partner. So let's get started. This is for Taurus. For the first 2 weeks of October, messages and energies for Taurus for the first half of October. What does Taurus need to know? That's the overall energy there. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Ten of Swords with the Three of Swords. And the Nine of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands. Okay. So the overall energy here, Taurus, this can be talking about partnership. The Two of Wands often does. It can also be talking about you getting a different perspective on something that you're working on. This could be something that's business related or some kind of project that you're working on. And this new perspective is going to basically symbolize you kind of turning a page on something. So you're going to be approaching it differently, or something that you have been doing, you're no longer going to be doing. So it's kind of like ending a chapter, but in a good way. It's positive. It's something that you are learning from and growing and expanding. So it is definitely a good thing. So that's kind of the general energy that we're looking at. Rising above some challenge perhaps, gaining more clarity, gaining a broader perspective in order to be able to move forward. Now, there is a little bit of troubling energy here for you. We have the Ten of Swords and we have the Three of Swords. So this indicates that there may be some pain that you're working through, pain, hardship, some kind of emotional loss perhaps. Now the Rebirth card here, the Ten of Swords, this can be difficult energy to work through, but ultimately it is the end of something that perhaps has been very trying for you, and you're now able to let that go and move forward. So maybe that's why you need that different perspective or that kind of shift in the way that you're seeing things. Because you are in a period of transition here with this Ten of Swords. It doesn't look like it's being easy for you because we have the Three of Swords here, indicating that you are maybe feeling alone in this journey, alone in the process. Maybe you are feeling abandoned or neglected, forsaken perhaps. Or maybe you're feeling disconnected from yourself. Not necessarily disconnected from someone else, because this is indicating that you are changing in a big way. This isn't the Death card, it's a mini death card, but it is still very difficult for you, this shift that's happening. It is indicating that there is kind of a clearing of your slate. We have either a sunset or a sunrise, and it could certainly be both. So there's the sense here that you're having to face something new. You're having to let something go and then welcome in the new, and that's not always easy. So just be aware that that kind of energy is something that you may be dealing with in the next 2 weeks. Probably more so towards the beginning of October. Now, as we move forward, it does look like things are getting a lot better. So I'm glad that this is resolving. It's possible that this energy has already occurred, something that you're already working through. And now things are really able to pick up, and better things are coming in because you have let go of something that is no longer serving you. So even though it's difficult to let something go, whatever this might be for you, it is bringing in new opportunities. I do have the sense that this is more job, career, money, business, partnerships, that kind of thing. But it can certainly be about other things as well. This can be about romantic partnerships too, for sure. Now we have the Nine of Pentacles coming in, paired with the Ace of Wands. So this is some kind of opportunity, and this can be a creative opportunity that's going to allow you to really show what you've got on the creative front. But it can also be, as I said, something that's business related, financial type thing, because we have the Nine of Pentacles here. So this is indicating that this new opportunity, whatever it might be for you, is first of all going to get you very excited and passionate. So your ears are really going to be perking up when this, comes knocking on your door, because it's offering you creative outlet, the ability to really tap into your creativity, and just a really new way of thinking, and it's bringing you a lot of prosperity. The Nine of Pentacles is all about you having personal freedom. And this can be freedom because you have the resources to be able to do what it is that you want. But this can just be talking about, like, almost like you have more control, like you're the boss. You may have been given more responsibility, but with that responsibility is coming, greater freedom to kind of direct the course of your life. And we can see that independence also in the Two of Wands. Even though this is a card that talks about partnership, this is a very open type of partnership where each member, each party would have the freedom to go about business as they would please. So it does look like, especially as we move towards the middle of October, that this is going to be a very good time for you. A lot of new ideas and inspiration coming in. This can literally be this wonderful idea just hitting you over the head, because we have an apple falling from the tree, very much like with Sir Isaac Newton, and it's just really starting something, lighting a fire and getting you going. So this could be exactly what you need, because some of you are perhaps struggling with something, and this is like it's like the perfect distraction, basically. This new thing coming in and allowing you to forget about whatever this trouble was, whatever this difficulty was that was kind of lingering and not going away on its own. You have something new here, and we can see that it looks very much like the sun. This is the Ace of Wands, but very much like the sun. This sun is going to melt this ice that is in the Three of Swords. So you're no longer going to feel like you are frozen and unable to move forward, unable to act, unable to, feel normal again. That's really going to thaw things out and allow things to flow through you once more. So ultimately it does look very good once we get over this little road bump here. So I'm going to take a look into the crystal and see what else we have coming up for you. This is for Taurus, first half of October. I'm seeing a grandfather clock. And it's interesting because we talked about freedom, and yet you still are, there's still this very traditional vibe coming in where you're going to still be observing a schedule in a way. So it's like, if you're accustomed to, you know, this is when you start work, this is when you end work, and that works for you, that rhythm, that routine, I see you honoring that and continuing to carry on with that routine, because it's been with you for so long and it's going to continue to serve you very well into the future. That's the way the message is coming up. For many of you, there's somebody around you, and I think this could be why we had those first two cards that were a little bit troublesome. There's somebody around you who is saying things to you that are not in your best interest. This is coming up as a person who is either wearing a false mask, so they're pretending to be your friend, you know, pretending to have your best interest at heart when they don't, and they are feeding you information that is ultimately not good for you. Or this is someone who is just blatantly kind of out to get you, and they're really quite irritating. This is not a pleasant person. So if you know who this is, during these next 2 weeks, do your best to try to avoid them. I know that's not always possible, but they're coming up here as being particularly irritating and not good for you for these next 2 weeks. So if you can avoid them, keep your distance, that will be for the better. Okay, so I'm hearing lights, camera, action. So it's like your time is coming, and you have to be ready almost at a moment's notice for something. And that could be this new opportunity that's coming in here. And it is coming in as being some kind of creative project, business project, something like that, where you're going to have this offer and you just kind of have to be ready to jump right in and start playing your role. Basically, it's your time to shine. The way it's coming up, it's like you're playing like a lead role in whatever this is. So you're being given a fair amount of responsibility. And when I was seeing the grandfather clock, that was also indicating that the role that you are taking within this scenario, and it will be different for everybody, but because it's a grandfather clock, there is this sense of maturity and stability and wisdom, and those are the traits that you are being sought out for, because you bring that to the table. So those are your crystal messages. And we can move on now for love and romance for you and your partner or potential partner. So this is for Taurus, for love and romance for the first half of October. What does Taurus need to know? Okay, so for love, your overall energy is coming up as the Two of Swords. You also have the Magician, and you have Strength. Wow. Your partner is coming in with the Devil, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Swords. Okay, very interesting. The thing that is most striking about this spread is that both you and your partner, on the surface, like the overall energy, is coming up as being a little bit tricky. When I see these two cards, they actually have a fairly similar energy about them. So you're on the same page, but I don't know that it's entirely good for you. So in one scenario, we could have both of you kind of in a state of mind where you may be both irritated with each other, or you're both being a little bit, I don't know what quite the word is, but you're kind of being I don't want to call you a jerk, but it's like you're deliberately causing trouble. That's what I'm getting at. Deliberately causing trouble. And both of you are coming up with this energy. So I think you're feeding off each other, and you're both causing this issue, and that's only making it getting bigger and bigger. So you have to stop that, because beneath you have amazing cards. So this is on the surface, and this is what's actually there. So for whatever reason, you guys are in a funk right now, and it's not healthy, and it needs to stop. And one of you needs to initiate that stop, kind of where you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to put down my swords, I'm going to stop fighting, I'm going to stop, poking you and pushing your buttons, and let's have a little bit of peace here between us. So just be aware that there is an inclination to get on each other's nerves, to be nitpicky, to pick really meaningless fights. So that kind of energy is coming up, but it is entirely avoidable. I'm not sure why you're both in this kind of troublemaker frame of mind in your relationship right now, because beneath you, Taurus, you have both the Magician and you have Strength. The Strength is an entirely pure-hearted energy. So this is about you being very true, honest, honorable, and dedicated to your relationship. Likewise, your partner has the Ace of Swords, which is the card of truth, and it is also very much an honorable energy. So both you and your partner have very good intentions towards each other deep down, but for some reason on the surface there is tension, and it's not serving either of you very well. So you really have to work on letting that go and finding an outlet for that will be a lot more positive and constructive. Now you have the Magician card, which means that you're going to figure out a way, a very innovative way, to get around this kind of irritating energy. And your partner, also with the Ace of Swords, that is a very inspirational card. So I think if you were to propose or to shift into your more genuine energy here with this beautiful Strength card, your partner will likewise mirror you. They have the Six of Swords, which means that they are more than ready to move on from this uncomfortable and unhealthy way that you're relating. So as soon as you shift, because I think you will be the one who needs to take it upon yourself with the Strength and courage and the Magician, once you shift, your partner will follow suit immediately. So a little bit of thinking needs to go on for you, Taurus, where you have to figure out root cause. Why are the two of you not playing nicely. And I'm sure you know, but this needs to shift. This is not something that can go on forever. It wouldn't work. And I see that both of you, deep down are ready for that to just end. So that's what needs to happen. Really just need to snap out of it, shift, get into something that is a lot more healthy and calm and stable. Because right now, the energies that are coming up here, this can't last for long if that's the way that things are going to stay. I just want you to look at those cards once more and see how similar the energies are. Both of you are, there's a heart on both of these cards. And it's as if you're both playing with the other person's heart and just not being careful, basically. Being a little bit reckless for some reason. Maybe you've gotten too comfortable and it's gotten boring, and this is a way to spice it up. But like I said, you both are coming in here with a lot of creativity and ingenuity. So I'm sure you can figure a way to keep things exciting that are not going to be harmful and hurtful to each other. So that's the advice for this next 2 weeks, bringing us to the middle of October. So I hope that these messages have been helpful for you, Taurus, and I certainly hope that you enjoyed the reading. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can find my email in the description box below. And I will see you again in a couple weeks for your next 2-week forecast. Take care of yourself until then.